Afternoon all. Okay, let's have another 5-minute game. I'm in that mood. I'm thinking about covering Lasker after Nmsd4, but I'm still thinking about looking at the structure itself of the My System book first. At least one video on that structure. But anyway, so English opening here, English attack. Okay, but Black's going to play for a quick d5. So I might bail out of that plan. I'll just play a4 instead. Maybe knight d5 here. Just bishop e2. Bishop e2 to f3. Pogonina style, try and clamp down on d5, and later something knight e2. No, this knight to d5. Try and clamp down on d5. So how does that work again? I think this pawn can go to a5 to prevent b6. Let's try and play restraint d5 and b5. So this knight improves somehow in the Pogonina plan. Fortunately, I've forgotten how. How on earth do I get this knight to e3 without moving the bishop? It's not possible. Maybe the bishop exchanges on f6. Okay, that sounds plausible. So exchange the bishop out on f6 first, then get the knight like this to d5, d2 to f1 to. So it's quite a long, involved process. But also, if I move this rook, then a5 is going to drop as soon as I move the knight. So actually, I think that rook needs to be used here. Okay. So this knight moves this bishop b6. Bishop g5, take on f6. Then have to move the queen again. Maybe to d3. No, it's bishop c4s. Maybe to e1. Okay. So I've just put my queen in the way. I think I've just frazzled my brain with too much bullet chess earlier. So the pieces are all in the way of each other. Get this one out of the way first, because the knight has to end up on e3. Okay, exchanging on d5 helps the cause for d5 anyway, removing one of the defenders of d5. This h5, hopefully that's going to backfire. It sort of weakens the king side a bit. I don't know what's going on with that move. Okay, so first things first. Bishop takes b3, doubling pawns is going to weaken d5 as well. Right. So do I need to take on f6 here? I have to move the queen. If I move the queen to e2, there's bishop c4. If I move to e3, it's just the target. Okay, so what about just... Okay, I'm just going to take. And then, okay, what about h3? Because then knight g4s are prevented. Right. So I can't use queen d3 because bishop c4. Queen e3, maybe there's even d5. Is that possible? Maybe it's not possible. Right, queen e3 might be possible. But then I'm blocking this knight maneuver. Interesting. Okay. Can the knight go like this? To e2. To c1 to d3 to b4 to d5. How on earth can I get the knight to d5? That's the question. I'll try queen e1. d2, f1, e3, d5. Fine. That'll be the way forward. Okay. Mind you, knight g5, I'm going to have to move the bishop, I think. So by moving the queen to e1, at least, okay, let's get this over here, although there's probably a bishop sack happening soon, or a knight sack. My king's going to get torn to bits if I'm not careful. Maybe h4 and g3 will be prudent after queen d7, just to avoid this hanging bit exposed. So queen d7, h4, g3, then carry on with the plan, knight f1 to e3 to d5. Mind you, there's always an exchange sack possibility as well, rook c3 if the queen moved to d7. So this is all a bit messy, really. And in fact, the opponent's now liberated. Okay. So e5 might be under fire anyway. So I think I have to try and neutralise this c-file pressure. Try and grab these light squares. So how do I do that? c3, maybe. New plan. I just dropped pawn. Fantastic. Okay. h4 to chase this. Okay. I think I'll weaken my king yet because bishop f3. Try and target e5 pawn here. Or knight c4, targeting the e5 pawn. Bishop f1, bishop f1. Okay. So how are things holding up? Queen e3 here. We get the rook to e1 now. This is a massive transformation of position here, as well as being pawned down, of course. But I can take on e5 here, and then maybe play f4 if rook e8. Otherwise, if I want to keep pieces on, this looks dire, so I'm going to have to take. Alright, so the bishop and knight. Get the bishop on this nice fianchetto diagonal. Hopefully not losing all my pawns in the process. I'll go for these pawns. Okay, pass for c pawn. Do I take here? Lose the other pawn. What do I take? Maybe take. Not sure really. Okay, try and get the king involved. Okay, there's always knight e4s. I can take that. Whoa! Okay, it's a bit of a time pressure blunder. Bishop over here. Take that. Take this guy. Take this guy. Go back to c4. Oh, that's a bit plain sailing here, surely. Even I can win this, I think. Yep, queening. Shall I queen another? It's fairly clear. The stalemate possibilities, I guess. I'll do the queens like this. Right, so that was a really confused plan of trying to simulate d5 prevention. So at least I changed plan. I didn't castle queenside or anything, so I was trying to play positionally, but in a confused way. So clamping down on b5 as well. This reminds me of Nick Foster playing me years ago in Blitz. He was clamping down, or is it long game now? Long game. And so here is I've already blocked d2 for the knight. So how on earth can this knight be rerouted effectively? Maybe c1, d3. From d3 then it threatens to play b4 to d5. From d5, you know, there's only c3 and e3 or b4. So b4 to d3 to c1. This manoeuvre might be possible against this structure. If I can fix b5 and d5, that's Nmsovich restraint. But I took away f6 anyway. Okay, so I vacated d2 instead for f1, e3, d5. but it didn't kind of work out now. I'm being interrupted in plans. Didn't want to lose this bishop, and now d5 happened, changing the entire picture. I shouldn't have really kept. So this has already gone wrong because my rook's not on d5. So once this has gone wrong, I need to change plan anyway. Lost the pawn, but the new plan is about e5. I have to regain my pawn and fight this endgame a little bit. Okay, there's a blunder, piece blunder on f1. So I think I was clawing my way back in here. After in this position, this is starting to be maybe tricky. If the knight has to go there, it's probably a goner or near goner, king d3, forcing b3. That'll be unpleasant. Okay. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks so much.